So I'm installing the front end now. So went through all the grill stuff. So what I did was I put, these are two studs here that go through this bracket. Just kind of loosely put nuts on there so it's movable. And then I hooked up my rods. This rod is about as long as I think it's supposed to be, because that's the way I had it before. I've got my hood hook thing there, and I'll don't have one here yet. I'll put that on. After I put the hood on, I just slid the two halves together. This rusty looking thing here is the chrome strip that goes in the middle. Normally it's riveted on. I'm screwing it on for right now because this will get re-chromed. So it's not all the way screwed on, it's just I put quite a few in there, enough that I'll do what I need to do. I'm gonna slide this right here into the hood catch thing here, the center piece right there. I'm gonna slide that in there and let that hood come down. And then I will hook up that front one. So this is just kind of the way I'm gonna assemble this for right now. Okay, as I'm moving on, I put the two halves together like I showed. I took the hood, this nose piece was out just a little bit. So I took the nose piece and I put it into this back hinge. And then I lifted it up, slid the other hinge on, set it down, and then put the screws in. Pretty simple, but with this bar here, this threaded rod that adjusts your nose up and down, or the top in and out. So that's what I had to do to get this to kind of gap in right. This also can twist the bottom there. I do not have tight because I may have to move that this way depending on how the side panels fit. So that's why that's loose. But this is the assembly part of getting this front end on. So I'm going to put this in. See the rod is sticking out. Here's how I'm doing it. I kind of lined up the hinge here together, and I kind of got them started a little bit and kind of lined up. I have the hood kind of boosted up a little bit from that clamp. And then is what I do is I'll take this, I'll put it on there, tighten it up, and then I'm almost like drilling it in. Turn it on. If I can do this, let's see here. Kind of get it tight and just kind of and that's how you do it, just like that. And then you can tap the rest in if you need to. I know mine's a little long, so it's going to come out here, but I haven't trimmed it because of the final. So that's how you do it. So I'm kind of getting this thing together. I showed you kind of how to put that. I put that pin in there. Now when this hood is up, see, because I don't have the lever in it yet, but I'm going to go do that. But when this gets pulled down, this gap gets slightly wider there. The gap here is pretty good. This is coming out for some reason now. So I'll have to look at what's going on with that. So this nose piece here may have to kind of go like this. Just a little bit. And I think I'm at the end of the adjustment here. So I might have to elongate the hole a little bit more in that bracket that's right there. So I can pull this in just a little bit, because if I push this is doing the same thing. But you want to make sure it's all, this side here is nice and tight. I shouldn't say tight. I mean, the gap is right, but it's nice and firm there. And then this comes down to match the body. This should curve a little bit there too, and then that kind of widens that gap a little bit. This is why many people would eliminate this system of the hinge in the middle here. It's a pain in the butt to get it straight, and then it does walk a little forward and backward, and that's where these gaps come in right here between this chrome and this chrome. That's that gap right there, and then the gap the same back here. That's what makes this, that's what allows this hood to go backwards and forwards. And if you don't have that kind of on the tighter side, this can go into the body, or this part can go into the nose. Either way, if it shifts up or back. That's why these hoods are a little more difficult. Then a lot of people would eliminate this, either fix the sides or have them removable on their own, and then take the hood and make it hinge a different way. But I'm sticking with this. This is the way it was. That's what I'm going to do. So I've got to do a little adjustment over here, and I'm going to put that fender on. I got to put these latches on. I'll probably put those on first, and then we'll go from there. So I went ahead and kind of progressed a little bit here. I got the fenders on. I had these kind of pre-fit to, you know, certain holes, and they lined up and everything, and they did okay. Not perfect. And I'll explain that in a second. I went ahead and put the hood completely on, adjusting everything. Well, I think I showed that already earlier, and then I went ahead and put the headlights on, the trim, the hood ornament. I want to make sure that everything fits before I continue on and take it all back apart again. So here's this side over here. And some problems that I've run into is, I know this hood doesn't fit right here. It actually comes out. You can see my finger goes underneath there, and then it actually comes out here. So this is kind of slightly bowed this way. I got to figure out how to bend that back. You can't just bend it because it doesn't bend like that. It has a memory. But the other thing I noticed is this gap here is still tight. It's not hitting, but it's tight like that. When you come over to the other side, you'll see that this one is bigger here. See? So, two things. One, the hood part here might be able to come up or down depending on which side I want to work with, or the fender might be able to come up. This fender I think is just a tick lower than the other fender based off of this gap here. So I might be able to just raise this up just a little bit, and that might be able to take care of some of that. And so I won't have to make as much of an adjustment on the hood itself. Otherwise, I have to measure here to here to make sure the dimension's the same on both sides, and bend that hinge inside there if I have to. But anyway, getting back to it, this is kind of like what I'm seeing here. A few other odd points. These are 36 headlights. I've discussed that. I had a video on those. These standoffs here, they might be 36 also. The bolt pattern does not match this grill shell. The two back bolts do, but the front one is too far forward. I think that this is too long for the original 737. I'm not exactly sure. And it may not be out far enough. I'm not sure. It's pretty close here, but I think they're always kind of close. But I have another set that's shorter than this that doesn't match the bolt pattern either, but are out more. So I don't know exactly what's right or wrong there. But I'll have to, I might just live with this, because actually this actually moved the headlight forward just a little bit, less than a ½ inch forward, compared to probably original. So that's that. I'm going to continue on with the windshield frame. and see what else that I need to do to get this all put together before I take it all apart.